Shopping has always been a reliable way to get players to log in daily in Animal Crossing. With only 2 shops in this game and a rotation of different merchants, it can be a little difficult spending as much time shopping as you did in previous titles. Even with a rotation of special visitors, there's no guarantee that you're going to get one that is going to sell you anything. From the list of visitors, the ones that sell things to you are Sahara, Leaf, Kix, and Red. But before we get too far into their shops and what they have to sell, let's actually focus in on Nook's Cranny and Able Sisters to begin. We've already talked about how Nook's Cranny only has a single shop upgrade. Once this shop upgrades, you'll find 3 items in the back, 2 on display on a little counter, and 1 possible special item in the front left corner of the store. Outside of this, there's also a large cabinet full of many different things, so let's actually go through this really quickly. For one, there's always a selection of tools available to you. One of the things that's very unique to this is that you can keep buying the tools over and over. There's not a limit of just one like previous games. The same thing goes for the 2 items on the counter right next to the cabinet. These items are mass-produced and therefore can be bought over and over from both your player and any visiting players. This is actually a huge upgrade from previous games because it gives people the ability to share their shops more freely. I remember I struggled with that part in New Leaf because I'd always have to go through my shops before even opening my gates. I didn't really want to risk anybody buying out the items before I got a chance to shop. Nowadays, I'm a lot more comfortable letting people in and knowing that I'm not going to be missing out on too many items if they do come and buy something here. The cabinet also features a lot of wallpapers and floorings. Once again, you benefit from the same thing where once you buy something, you can keep buying it over and over again. There's no limit to this at all. That means if you have any wallpaper or flooring that somebody is looking for, it's easy for them to come and get it at your shop without it affecting your own gameplay. The same goes for any of the flowers, the saplings, even your customization kits, wrapping paper, DIY, even your native fruit is on sale here in limitless quantities. It adds to the activities that visitors have when they visit because they know they can at least look at your cabinet and see if there's anything that they need there. The back wall is full of items that are purchasable only once. Typically, the item on the far right is going to be the most expensive item on display, and these can often reach hundreds of thousands of bells in value. Outside of that, you'll see these rotate on a daily basis, just like the other items as well. I've talked about this in previous parts of the review, but the biggest thing with this is that the catalog is pretty small in Animal Crossing New Horizons. The items are already split between crafting and shopping, so you're going to notice a lot of the things in your shop keep appearing over and over. The one difference is that your island is only going to get a certain color of item. That means it's going to take you shopping on other islands in order to complete your catalog. Unfortunately, at the moment, there isn't really a way to customize these items into the colors that you don't own. You're really stuck shopping at other places. On the one hand, it kind of holds your progress back if you're trying to complete the catalog, but on the other, it does really get you communicating with other players in order to complete your collection. Overall, Nook's Cranny is pretty straightforward. It's a lot like previous games. Unfortunately, it doesn't upgrade anymore, but I don't think there's a big enough catalog to necessitate an upgrade. And after a year of playing, I'm already pretty much done buying everything that has ever appeared in my shop, so typically, I tend to leave it open for other players, especially those who are looking to complete the different color sets. I'd say one of the biggest things I'd like fixed about it is having the ability to buy the mass-produced items in bigger quantities. Typically, we're only getting a choice between 1 or 5 of any given thing, and it'd be much more effective if we just got out a little calculator and said, I want 12 of them, please. This would be especially helpful with the customization kits, which only come in quantities of 1 or 5, and they can stack up to 50, so if I could buy 50 all in one swoop, I would do so. The next shop located directly on your island is Able Sisters, and it benefits a lot from the same things Nook's Cranny does. For one, you no longer have to go and beat everybody to the store because everything is just available at all times, even more so than Nook's Cranny. There isn't a single item in Able Sisters that can only be bought once. All you have to do is go into the dressing room and you get to see a huge selection of things, and best of all of the colors are available on your island. You don't have to go to other people's islands in order to buy different colored clothing. You have tops, bottoms, dress up, headwear, accessories, socks, shoes, everything that you could ever use. I'd say the biggest problem with this shop is that there's no add to cart button. For every category, you can only wear one piece of clothing at a time. You're gonna have to put the clothing on, purchase it, exit the dressing room, go back in, and do that over and over again until you have every single color that you want. It really can be annoying to do this more than once. Luckily, you do have the benefit of being able to wear multiple pieces of different clothing. That way you can come out wearing an entire outfit. This can speed up the process slightly, but it would still be pretty nice to have the other option as well. Able Sisters also kind of benefits from the seasonality of the game. It makes the shop feel consistently more fresh than Nook's Cranny as the seasons change throughout the year. I don't think it needs an update quite like Nook's Cranny does, but I do think we need to see more items and clothing overall come year 2. It's by far the easiest shop for everybody to benefit from. I don't go to a single island without visiting their Able Sisters. So let's finally focus on these special visitors. Like I said, Sahara, Leaf, Kix, and Red tend to be the main visitors that have things to sell. From Sahara, you're going to be getting carpets, rugs, and wallpapers. She doesn't show you anything she has, and you're really only buying everything at random. There tend to be 3 different rugs that you can purchase, a small, medium, and large. You can only buy one at a time, so it makes this whole process a little bit slow, but it is pretty nice when you get a rug that you're really looking for. Depending on the size, every time you buy a rug, you're going to get a different amount of Sahara tickets. These tickets can be used to redeem another rug. If you buy all 3 of the rugs, you're going to come out with an extra ticket and have one to save for later. This comes in handy because after 5 visits, you're going to be able to get both the free wallpaper and a free carpet. The next thing is a mysterious wallpaper and a mysterious flooring. If you buy one of these, you're going to get something at random, and you're just going to have to get lucky to get anything you want. These items cannot be ordered from anywhere, and they're only obtainable through Sahara, so it really takes a lot of visits to get multiples of a different flooring or wallpaper if you want one. I'd say the biggest flaw with Sahara's store is the fact that it's all kind of dialogue based. There's no way to look at what she's got. You really just have to click through her dialogue, select something, and then she'll sell it to you from there. And that said, it's kind of a bummer because everything she has is random and you have no control over what you're collecting. You really just have to get lucky if you're looking for a certain wallpaper, carpet, or rug. But it's also kind of fun because you don't know what you're getting. It's always kind of exciting to see her and wonder, is this the day that I'm finally getting that carpet I've been looking for? The next visitor is Leaf, and I've got to be honest with you, Leaf, though I liked him in the beginning, he's probably one of the more boring visitors that we get now. His shop tends to have a bunch of greenery that you can grow. These are the pumpkins, the bushes, and the flowers, and that's basically it. I think where Leaf kind of suffers is that after a year of playing, he is not as exciting as Sahara. Like Sahara, yes, you don't really get to choose what you're getting, but it kind of keeps you buying from her just to see if you get anything that you're actually looking for. Leaf, on the other hand, you just kind of look at his shop and just say, cool, what else could there be? I think the thing Leaf needs to be more interesting is an expansion to the greenery. For one, we do have pumpkins and they're a great start for farming, but I kind of expect there to be more crops for us to grow. Give Leaf more crops and I'm sure I'll be buying from him more often. On top of that, I'd really like to see more variety in trees. Animal Crossing has always had kind of these same 3 trees. It's the cedar, the hardwood, or the palm trees, and I'd really like to see some more variety. We've seen some pop up in Pocket Camp that look really great, and I'd love to see even more come to this game. I think the greenery definitely needs an expansion, and that would make Leaf a lot more interesting a visitor. The next person we have is Kix, and I'm gonna be honest with you, while I do really like Kix, it feels kind of strange that Kix is in the game. I think the Able Sisters already cover clothing incredibly well, and seeing Kix's selection, like I'm never really blown away. Basically the only unique thing he has is backpacks. That's the one thing that's not in stock at Able Sisters. That said, the selection of backpacks is really fun and I'd want to see more, but it seems very strange that Kix isn't just joining Able Sisters in their shop already. I don't want him to completely disappear, I just feel like they need to find a way to make his character a lot more relevant. Finally, we have what is probably the most sought after visitor, and that's Red. Jolly Red parks his boat on our secret beach and gives us a nice selection of artwork to peruse, as well as 2 special items. These special items tend to be color variants to the ones that are available on your island. So while we can't find these at Nook's Cranny, it is nice that they came up with a way to give us access to these variants if we have no ability to visit other players. Of course, the most enticing thing at Red's is going to be the artwork. He tends to come with 4 pieces, and it's no guarantee that all of them are real, and it's no guarantee that all of them are fake. This makes it really cool to have other players visit and buy some artwork as well. And I'd say even the fake pieces are pretty enticing because they can still be used as decoration around your island. I think the biggest issue that I'm seeing happen with Red is that it's increasingly difficult to get a new piece for your museum. The main goal is, of course, filling out your big exhibit in the art museum, but I found it pretty hard to do this late in the game. I've gotten over half of the pieces at this point, and it's really rare that I see anything that's new. And when I do, it's really rare that that piece is even real. I'd say compared to previous games, New Horizons is much easier to get real art pieces than it has ever been. For one, you have the ability to make extra characters and have them go and buy multiple pieces as well. That way you can always have a nice stockpile of real pieces to trade online. I think overall though, Red really remains consistent over the year, and I really still want to see him. So as far as shopping goes, it's kind of difficult to make that a big part of your day in this game. For one, you're only really ever going to see 3 shops at a time. 2 are the staple shops on your island, and 1 is the possibility of a rotating visitor. I think as far as shops on your island, Able Sisters is a lot more effective in maintaining our interest over a year. While Nook's Cranny feels like the selection just needs to grow in order to make it a little bit more captivating for players. As far as special visitors go, Sahara and Red are definitely stronger than Leaf and Kix in my eyes. Now don't get me wrong, Kix isn't terrible, I still much prefer getting him over Leaf, but I just feel like he'd make more sense being tied into the Able Sisters shop at this point. Well, I hope you enjoyed this review of the shops and shopping in Animal Crossing New Horizons. Stay tuned for more Animal Crossing and Nintendo content. Be sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe, and I'll talk to you all next time. Bye!